welcome to yet another edition of Bits to Billions. Now, it's rare to find a unicorn in the manufacturing space in India that has ambitions of making in India for the world. But that's the difference here with Zetwerk. We have the co-founder and CEO Amrit Acharya, who wants to bring together OEMs and EPC firms with small and medium enterprises and really help manufacture components for a wide array of industries. Amrit, welcome to the show. What do we have right here? Which industry does this go in? Do these components go into?
Yeah, so these specific products are called jaws and fixtures. They are used for holding machine components together. This is primarily for automobile industry, aerospace industry, and the space industry. More broadly, some of the things we make in this factory ultimately go into the fuselage of an aircraft, or they go into the fuel injection systems of various kind of automobile components.
Right. Is it exciting to, train for engineering and actually do engineering, because we see so many people doing civil and mechanical and aerospace and ultimately crossing over to software and internet?
I mean, I was part of that trend. Like, I graduated with a degree in electrical engineering, but I ended up doing nothing close to electrical engineering for many years. In fact, I was at McKinsey for a bit. But at my heart, I always felt that calling, that I really liked building things using my bare hands sometimes, and we wanted, when I came back from the US to India, building a company which held true to those roots in my case was very important for me.
What I also wanted to ask you, Amrit, is if I look at your own trajectory, right? As you said, you did electrical engineering. You have roots in Odisha.
Yes.
Then you went to IIT Madras. You worked at ITC. Then, you did your master's abroad. You worked at McKinsey. And then you decided to come back in India in an industry which is all about forging and casting and machining and fabrication. You can call it, unsexy at a time when we've seen so many people do internet startups.
Yes.
So why did you decide to choose an unsexy industry, so to speak, the road less traveled?
In my first job at ITC was to build a new factory for them. In fact, when I joined, they had just bought the land, and over the next 2 years, built a lot of the buildings, bought a lot of the machines, hired a lot of people. And I really fell in love with manufacturing back then. I did that for 2 years, and then I took a detour after that. But when I was looking to come back to from the US to India, I looked back at what I had done before. And my co-founder Srinath, his family business was also into manufacturing. His father ran a small manufacturing unit, not that different from this one where we are here today. So while it was unsexy, for us it was very sexy because we understood the pain points in a way which it felt unique to us. It felt very authentic to us, that these are the problems we are passionate about. I certainly had felt that between the time I was doing this work at ITC to today, nothing much had changed in this industry. And I felt that I wanted to drive some change there.
Right. Amrit, the name Zetwerk means strong foundation. How did you come up with it?
Yeah, so when we're looking for a name, if you look at the history of the manufacturing industry, a lot of the companies are good companies, are European or American companies. Even L&T was started by 2 Danish engineers, Larsen and Toubro. Of course, it's a strong foundational Indian company. So we wanted a name which was European to signify excellence.
To signify quality.
To signify quality, and Zetwerk actually means strong foundations in Dutch. It also rhymes with network, so it was a great combination of all factors.
Right, and today if I look at your client roster, right, it has the who's who from the world of manufacturing, EPC, from L&T to BHEL to GE to even Flipkart. How tough was it to go to these giants and convince them that, we are a 3-year-old startup, 2-year-old startup, and we will make these things for you?
Yeah. So these things take time. While we see the ultimate output of all the hard work that goes into company building process, the reality is these are never overnight successes. There's a quote I like: it takes 15 years to become an overnight success. And in some cases, that's very true for us. Like a lot of these companies, we have taken our time to feel confident that we can service these customers over a period of time, and vice versa from their side to us. Like a lot of the questions we get initially are, hey, where is your factory? And then we have to explain people the model, like, look, this is a different way of getting your products manufactured. Ultimately, what do you care about? You care about quality, you care about timelines, you care about price. We will meet all of those three requirements, but the way we do it is slightly different from what you may have experienced before. Now that's a journey. Some companies understand that, and those are your early adopters, and some companies take a little bit more time. But what we have been able to demonstrate time and again is that the model works. In fact, we are sometimes better than their existing alternatives because we diversify the risk of manufacturing across many suppliers. A single order at Zetwerk does not go to a single supplier. It goes to 5, 10 suppliers. And so we're often 10x faster than what they would have experienced by themselves. So it starts small. Every customer gives us a small order only at the beginning. But what we see is over a period of time, they 10x their business volumes with us over a year.
Right. Amrit, we are also talking at a point where, if you look at the macro, people are talking about fears of a recession in the US. Even in India, there is worry of inflation, the impact, the knock-on effects that it has. Startups, you live in the startup hub, so I'm sure you're hearing a lot about layoffs and funding winter. Where does Zetwerk really stand here? Because in a sense, your fortunes are tied to, the macroeconomic scenario, the macro environment. So how are you kind of navigating this tough phase?
Yeah, I mean, so couple of things. One is, we turned profitable as a business last year. We have not announced these results publicly yet, but they'll be public soon. And we did it. It was not the flavor of the season, to your point. There was a lot of emphasis on growth. While we also grew a lot last year, we grew profitably. And hence, in some way, our destiny is under our control because we can choose to go aggressive or not. And we don't have to rely on some of these extreme measures that you talked about because in some way, our destiny is under our control. That being said, we've done a few other things. Our business is very diversified. One is across all these industries. We serve oil and gas, we serve aerospace, we serve auto, we serve infrastructure, we serve consumer electronics. While there is recession, there's no recession which is universal across all sectors. There is cyclicalities within sectors. So some go up, some go down.
So some will hedge you if the others...
Yeah, we have a lot of natural hedge. Secondly, almost 25% of our business comes from the US and Europe.
But isn't that going to be a